Now that the piece has color, and we've done this for all of our pieces, we need to figure out how to actually give a drawing to someone who could actually produce them if they were doing this out of a solid. And so what we're going for is those ortho ISO, those multi-view drawings with our orthographic projection in that L shape, and then the isometric in the upper right-hand corner here. So we're going to do that from our 3D models now. So here's my 3D model file, and I will actually go File, New, but rather than doing the standard IPT, which is the standard part file that we've been doing, I'm going to do this standard IDW file down here, and I'll double click on it, or you can click on it and hit create. Either will work. So this default paper is actually kind of large. So we're going to edit a couple of things before we get going. I'm going to right click on sheet 1, and I want to, right click and hit edit sheet. And I want to select size A landscape view. So I still want the paper to be sideways, but size A paper is 8.5 by 11, which is our standard paper. So we can kind of just use normal paper. And then I'll say OK. So it'll shrink down. But now this heading here, which most of which we'll be leaving blank, we'll put some other stuff on it at a later time. But I'm going to delete this. So I'm actually going to right click on ANSI large, and I'll delete it. So that's just gone. We'll put something of our own there later on. So I've got this all set up here. So I'm going to now put my base view, which it will let me place where I want it. And this by default says front, which is from whatever it was in the CAD drawing. But I'm going to rotate it until I get a drawing that I want to use as the front. And I like this as the front because I don't have any hidden lines. And I want to try to avoid hidden lines in my front view and show the most shape of the object in that front view. Now if I just move my mouse up, straight up, I see that dotted green. That's going to project to my top view. And then I go over here and I can project to my right side view. And if I go up to this corner, it'll project to the isometric drawing. Now I can say OK, and we're going to leave it at scale 1:1 because we shrunk the paper so this would fit nicely. So I'll say OK, and it did that drawing. What is nice is I can move things around as I need to. If I click on the border that's around the drawing, the dotted border, and it'll adjust my location of my projections. Or if I decide that your front view is not the best choice, you can double click on it to bring this menu back up, and you can change that from there. If you didn't put one of your views, for example, if I forgot my top view, I can click on projected, click back on this front view, and then just move up, and it will just recreate that if I go right click, create. So I just made that view back. So this is how we're going to get our orthographic and isometric drawings set up. Next we're going to talk about adding dimensions and text.